the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Thursday morning to you.
Thank you. Want to do a quick shout out before we get underway. Had our show last night in Irvine with Nate Craig. Great turnout, especially on a Wednesday in Irvine. Saw a couple dirt balls there, but specifically wanted to shout out our boy Steve Brennan, OC Steve Brennan. Got on stage, walking on stage, just off my stage left. I see Steve sitting there, basically in the same seat that he's always sitting in whenever I do Irvine. And as I was walking on stage, I was like, man, this guy's like the Cal Ripken of coming to my Orange County shows. Like, if I come down to OC, this dude's in the crowd. And I love all the dirt balls that come out and support, but the ones that come over and over again hold a special place in my heart. So shout out to Steve.
I haven't heard much from Steve. Steve should call back into the show.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to talk after the show or no?
No, sadly, the club asked if we wanted to do a meet and greet out front, and we got held up a little bit in the back. Nate and I had some green room stuff to take care of, and by the time we made it out, it seemed like they had cleared everybody out pretty quickly, which is too bad. We should have hustled out to the front. Also, I should have our host say that we're going to do that so that people stick around.
Well, that's good, man. You've speaking of stand-up, you obviously I'm on with you.
Let's go.
In June, you've planted the seed. I was starting to write some bits last night.
It's great. I love it. That's June. What is it? June 13th?
June 13th.
Yeah, June 13th, Saturday, June 13th, Bombs Away Comedy in Cincinnati.
I have told a few people just, verbally, and the reaction is, I'll be there.
Let's go. I mean, this is why you're on the show.
Well, clearly, I think
we need the Andy local friends and family support.
The Ruther bomb.
More than we need new fresh hot Taco Bell app takes. But we are also the collective. We are also excited to see what Frat Daddy comes up with in his. I assume we're just gonna have some kids stuff and some.
Oh, I was writing kids stuff.
Daycare stuff, and
I was writing kids stuff last night.
Yeah, let's go.
Maybe I'll just tease a little. Maybe revisit way old jokes now that I have a different perspective as a parent. I don't know if that's going to resonate with anybody. But just some old, I'm talking when I started stand-up bits that I've kind of talked about on the Andy Ruther show, where I'm like, wait, now that I'm looking at this as a parent with the kid, there's maybe some different angles.
Yeah, and you got to adjust the jokes for the modern day. Your kids are in daycare. Are the folks at daycare, are they teachers? Or are they, daycare? Would you be like, yo fool, yo daycare attendant?
I
can't tell me or any of the other preschoolers ever what to do.
I refer to them as teachers to the kids.
Okay.
It's just easier.
Yeah.
That's funny that you went there. Yeah. So let's do it, man.
Let's go. I'm excited.
Let's come out of retirement.
The next couple months are going to be fun. I've got a lot of trips planned, and I've got a lot of stand-up mixed in. So pretty much starting last night with the Irvine show, just a lot of road, whether that be the honeymoon, we're doing another ski trip, and stand-up mixed in. And some of them are stand-up, I'm doing Steamboat comedy show in mid-March. That's a ski trip and comedy. But I think that by the time I get to Cincinnati in June, I think that this hour that I'm working on is going to be like really humming, and also, either before or after that, there's going to have to be talk about, everybody's doing their 2016 flashbacks. I didn't post my 2016 flashbacks on Instagram, but obviously it was the year we released Joe Prano Takes the Stand. So we might just have to do a 2016 flashback by recording another special.
Well, it's did I download it? I thought I did. It's funny that you bring up the 20. Oh, here it is, dude. It's funny you bring up the 20. I'll just play it now. The 2015 flat, or what is it? 2016? Is that a trend? Have I missed this?
Yeah. Everybody's posting. I don't know why it happened or what. Like, I don't know how it happened, but everybody's posting some shit from 2016. I am not, but
well, that's actually a good segue. We can hop into something that I did, which I saw based on this is something pretty funny. I'm going to share this. So Pac-Man Jones goes on Julian Edelman's podcast. Let me just pull this up. You're going to love this. I love this. And literally just scorches Andy Dalton. And I guess they're watching an old playoff game. This is the one I was at against the Chargers, where context, the Bengals were favorites. They had just beaten the Chargers in the regular season in California.
This is essentially the end of Andy Ruther's Bengals fandom.
Yeah. We're going to get to that. So I saw this last night. It popped up on my feed, right? And anyway, I see this and I'm just cracking up. This is on Edelman's podcast with Pac-Man Jones, and his just brutal honesty is fucking great. Let me see what we got here. Okay, here it is.
All playing the playoffs this year?
The Chargers.
This is a good football team.
Yeah.
You look at this roster.
There's one thing that's on there that's
So he's talking about, Edelman's talking about the Bengals roster is a good football team, and they were. Well, let's just start it over. And we know Pac-Man's just stoned out of his mind.
Who do you all play in the playoffs this year?
the Chargers.
This is a good football team.
Yeah.
You look at this roster.
There's one thing that's on there that's up.
One thing?
What do you think, Wills?
Let me see.
Quarterback.
Hey. The red rifle.
Red Rifle. Could not take the pressure, bro.
He looked good in the regular season, though.
Yeah, he did. When that pressure get on him.
He always had good numbers.
Look at the receivers he had. Even 14, when Andy got hurt, we should have just stuck with McCarron. Shouldn't have never went back to Andy.
Halftime, what are you guys thinking? Just keep it close?
Andy, don't the game up. Please, Andy.
Look, this year's Bengals team, like the offense is putting up crazy numbers, but how many games did they lose from the defense? Like, does that start to like eat at the locker room?
I haven't been in a situation really like that.
I have with Andy.
Does it eat the locker room apart?
I ain't gonna say eat apart, but we in them like, God damn, can you just not turn the ball over?
Why couldn't these teams get over the hump?
Red Rifle.
Oh, there it is.
Red Rifle was horrible.
That's politely raw.
That's politely raw for you.
Don't you love just how candid he is?
I do.
I mean, you never hear anybody talk about that. So then I saw that and I was like, no lie. Pac-Man this is me. I was saying, don't go back to Dalton. See what AJ McCarron can do. Whatever. So then I pulled this up. Dude, this is one of the first Dirty Sports videos. I found it. We have it. It's actually on our YouTube. This was me. What's the date on this? Hold on. Let me see. Let me pull up the date in here. This is, when was this? Like August 4th, 2014.
Wow.
So this is 12 years ago. Almost 12 years ago. August 4th, 2014. Let's see what we got here. I think I have it here. And you'll notice this is like post brain injury. Like you can still see my eye, my face and shit. It's pretty funny.
I'm officially done with the Bengals. Fuck Mike Brown and fuck Andy Dalton. You're going to pay a guy a shit ton of money who's won zero, I repeat, zero playoff games. He has 1 touchdown to 7 turnovers and 3 playoff games, and you're going to pay this guy? You're a fucking idiot. There's no way to ever justify this. He has the best weapons around him. AJ Green, Giovanni Bernard, stud tight ends. He's had a top 5 defense, and he couldn't win 1 game. I went to that Chargers game. I flew in from LA to go to the Chargers game last year. Guaranteed win. No, Dalton, you soulless ginger fuck. You couldn't even hold on to the ball diving for a first down. You don't deserve any money. You don't deserve shit. And fuck your Twitter bio with your goddamn Bible quote and your wife in there. That's just douchey. Fuck you. Fuck the Bengals. I'm done. I'm just waiting for LA to get a team. I don't care if it's the goddamn Jaguars. At least the fucking owner will have some common sense. So fuck Dalton and fuck the Bengals. Done.
So much going on there. We've got stroke face.
Oh, totally.
We got stroke face, vanilla sky. You can't say fuck because your fucking face isn't working still. We have, I mean, you go right past the black guys with the chirping smoke alarm. Yours is just gone. You just have you just have the inner workings of a fucking smoke detector on the wall. Somehow the case, you're just like, fuck this shit. You got the famous I Heart Lakers thing stuck up with the fucking tacky shit. The now world famous frat collage.
Yeah.
All side saddle in your fucking in the old smut studio. That's your bathroom door right there. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct. That's my bathroom door. This is amazing.
You're filming it from underneath because you're doing a ghost story. You got your fucking an homage to Andy Dalton with your backwards camo hat,
which I got at a Walmart in Alabama. Fun fact on that. Yeah.
That was a nod to you demanding AJ McCarron stay in.
Correct.
You got your, I'm assuming, Slew Ball t-shirt that's under the...
It's either that or a Frat Boys of Comedy t-shirt.
There you go.
How about that, Prano?
You look swollen, bro.
Oh, I was fatter because after the brain injury, I got fatter.
Yeah.
Because I was just eating all the time. Because that basically replaced booze with food. Yeah, man. I can't talk like I'm. So you figure, okay, so this is about almost.
Fuck Andy Dalton. Stop saying fuck, dude.
I'm almost.
Screw Andy Dalton.
I'm almost.
You said you're waiting for a LA team, which you embraced both of them as they came. You're like, not only am I waiting for an LA team, I'm waiting for if they bring 5 LA teams, I'll root for all of them.
Yeah, so that's like 4 months, almost 4 months after the brain injury. Well, look, yeah, an LA team rolled in for the 2016 season. So that would have been right before the start of the 2014 season, 2015. And here's a fun fact. This weekend is now 12 years of Dirty Sports because our first one was the Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
It was the championship weekend.
Yep.
The infamous Aaron.
Can I say something too? I've been thinking about this and you bring it up. I've noticed this since I was, and we can obviously get into all these things. Just a quick sidebar. I've noticed this since I was a kid, and this might be a hot take. I don't know if it's like a hot podcast take. Championship weekend, NFL championship weekend, greater than Super Bowl Sunday. Championship Sunday, greater than Super Bowl Sunday.
I agree.
I'm going to say it. I feel like the real football fans know that, and I know we live in an era of, Charles Barkley sitting in a room being like, how come losers can be the GOAT? And I love that I did Shaq for Charles Barkley, but you know what I'm saying? He's sitting there saying, how can LeBron be the GOAT? And it's like, bro, you're in the fucking Hall of Fame. You didn't win a goddamn thing. So this is the worst take you've ever had. But getting to the Super Bowl is an accomplishment for a franchise. And it's always been a huge deal And I like seeing teams get to the Super Bowl. Then you have there being 2 games instead of 1. Then you have less casuals being involved. The conversation around the Super Bowl always includes 10 million people that didn't fucking talk about football or think about football at all until that week. Then you get just all the pomp and circumstance around the football game that's a distraction from the football game. I'm a Championship Sunday guy. Championship Sunday greater than Super Bowl.
I don't hate it. I mean, I think it's more exciting. That's for sure, right?
Games are being played in home stadiums.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, because a lot of times what happens, I mean, you saw it last year. Now, we've had some good recent ones, but like last year was a total dud.
Yeah.
As far as the actual the competitiveness of the game. It was a total dud.
I would argue, and we've talked about this with the NFL a lot recently, that the NFL is much better on TV than it is in person. It's like the one sport where I would say like you really very much don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And that flips for the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, it's only one game, so you're not missing anything else. And you can say, I went to the Super Bowl. So it's almost like the Super Bowl is like completely different. It's like a completely different beast from the NFL. Even playoff games and championship games and all that stuff, they're all very much the same, from week 1 through Championship Sunday. That's the NFL. The Super Bowl is kind of its own thing, and proven by the fact that it's literally the only game you'd want to go to anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, I've never been. I agree. That'd be a bucket list, be an experience for sure. But I also agree as far as like the viewing experience. I mean, I have this discussion all the time. I mean, I had a buddy. I had a buddy ask me this year 3 different times to go to Bengals games, and it's just like take the team out of it because I love the NFL, right? My thing is like you're saying, the viewing experience. I'm just like, it's a whole day, man. Especially when the weather's not good. No way, no way. Like my thing on that, let's take a Packers game. If I'm going to a Packers game, yeah, I'm there for the snow. I'm there for the cold. But like I was talking about the other day here at home, and I said even that last Bengals playoff home game I was at in Gold Star seats at the time, I said it wasn't the worst, but it was like 25 at night. It was the Sunday night game against Baltimore. I said I didn't really enjoy it. Like I was like 25 with you know how it is, wind chill, there's no sun. I was like, even though I was in where I could go inside, right? Because they're club level seats. I was like, but I don't want to do that because I'm not going to be down. You know how it is, Brandon. I'm not going down to a game to sit inside and watch a game.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Like I want to be out in the atmosphere. But that's a prime example of I'd rather be home. I'd rather be home watching this game. Now, it's funny how we've come full circle because we go back to that 2014 video. The Rams come, and the Rams have been good. like they've been basically good since they hired Sean McVay. I do want to play. You talk about the viewing experience. I want to play the clip from what Robert Kraft said this week about.
I'm assuming it's grainy footage from the top corner of a massage parlor Ring camera, and what he's saying is, "Thank you," and they're like, "Come again."
It is. It's him talking about 18 games. They end up going to 18 games, and that every team plays an international game. He also sounds like he's near the end, to be honest. You'll hear it.
I'll tell you guys, though, we're going to push like the Dickens now to make international more important with us. Every team will go to 18-2, and eliminate one of the preseason games. And every team every year will play one game overseas. And part of the reason is so we can continue to grow the cap and keep our labor happy, because we're sort of getting near the top here, with the coverage. 93 of the top 100 programs on television are NFL games.
Right.
Think about that. It's really amazing. And you look at the size of our crowds versus the other sports, and it's really, and we had that Amazon game on Thursday a couple of weeks ago. 31 million people streamed. And so as long as we can keep growing revenue, we can keep long-term labor peace.
Oh, there's a lot to address there, Perino. So let's start with the 18 games. And I said this.
How about no?
Yeah, exactly. And I said this to you before the show. Like, the injuries are mounting. There's no.
Well, there is a theory that it could be the electromagnetic fields that come with each team having Apple Pay as one of the options at the concession stand. We might need to look at the scientific breakdown as to whether or not the synthetic turf, when combined with the 5G radiation that is coming off of most smartphones, is making some sort of microwave where the players' Achilles are all snapping, or potentially playing a violent football game instead of 7 weeks a year, 17 weeks a year. Could be it's one of those two things.
Well, by the way, the Niners, that substation theory with the Niners, the conspiracy theory, is now turned more legit, as far as it's now the Niners are looking into it, which is kind of wild. Like, the Niners are now on record. John Lynch, their GM, is like, we're looking into this.
Yeah.
If there's anything to this. So stay tuned on that. Interesting. But yeah, let's go back to what Robert Kraft said. 18 games. Here's the thing, dude. Let's just address it all, because it's all together. He's like, 18 games. We've kind of reached peak what we can get out of basically the United States. 93 of the top 100 shows. I saw this. I'm pulling it up right now. The Broncos-Bills game was the most ever watched Saturday NFL playoff game ever. It had 39.5 million people. No surprise. So he's basically saying, we want more money. Where can we get money? Well, we've basically maxed out the American market. We want to go overseas, which is also awful on the player's health, right? You're traveling to London, you're traveling to Germany, you're traveling to Brazil. We all know how jet lag is, all those things. Beware, though, owners, and they won't. You are going to create situations like we have now in a championship game where Jarrett Stidham is a starting quarterback. Nobody wants to see that. Now,
well, that's just something we have to deal with sometimes. The backup quarterbacks are gonna need to play, because the other option is me pocketing less than $2 billion every year. And that's unacceptable. We can't raise the cap without me making less money. So instead, we're going to have avatars play games when the other guys get hurt. I need money. I mean, he literally said, to keep our labor happy, we have to do this to keep our labor happy, because there is 0% chance that we are going to take as owners any less money than we already take. So how do we make more money? How do we give more money to the players without giving less to ourselves? Well, more games. That's how.
yeah, it's ridiculous. And again, like, I'll watch the Jarrett Stidham game. You'll watch it. But the point is, if this continues to happen, interest will wane. It will.
Well, I was telling you before the show, I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to maybe a half hour of it last week. I think it was last week or maybe the week before. Chuck Klosterman apparently has written a book about, I guess what he's calling the inevitable fall of the NFL. And he talked about it on Bill Simmons. And I thought he had some good points, some thoughtful points. I think some of his predictions about what's going to happen in the NFL are correct. And I thought he had some bad points. And, he was, I think certainly wrote a thesis statement for a book and tried his best to prove it, which is, what a writer does. And I haven't read the book and I don't know all the things. And he was dancing around some stuff because obviously he wants you to buy the book. But I think that a lot of the things that he said are true, which is, this kind of thing, more games, the interest, the NFL being about the shield and the brand and not the players, and every other sport is about players. And in the NFL, they're covered in helmets and, next man up and whatever. But he was also talking about how a lot of other sports are thriving because the fans' commitment to a player. Like if you were a LeBron James fan and LeBron James leaves Cleveland and all of a sudden Cleveland sucks, you don't just dismiss, oh, well, my team's going to suck for 10 years, so I'm just not going to watch basketball. You can go watch your guy play somewhere else, especially now with what we have with these TV deals and TV packages and the internet and social media and whatever. If you're a Cavs fan, when LeBron leaves, you don't necessarily have less LeBron content in your life unless you're not willing to work to find it. Unless you're a guy who just turns on the local sports station, you can still get all the LeBron James content you want. And you can kind of, like Justin did, you can kind of pivot and be like, I'm a LeBron Lakers fan.
Well, it's tough to predict the future, obviously. I'll pick another sport, though. I don't think anybody foresaw where baseball would be at currently just 20 years ago. Truthfully, 25 years ago. Just like no one foresaw that the NFL would turn into what it is. Now, there's been a lot of things that's propped it up. Obviously, fantasy football is a huge multi-billion-dollar market. You have gambling now. But in the end, does that hurt it? I don't know.
I think there is.
I don't know if he talks about that in the book.
I don't know either, but I know he talks about, with all the stuff that we now know about CTE, the injuries. Now we're talking about, what Kraft is talking about here, going to 18 games. The injuries, the rash of injuries that happen now, and it's the seemingly every team loses 2-star players every year. Injury bug. That's now beyond CTE. We're not really diving into the CTE thing anymore, which is still obviously a thing. 4 guys wear the big helmets. Everybody else is still getting the same CTE they've gotten minus 4% because of the new helmets. CTE is still a thing. Now there's other injuries. One of the things he said that was very interesting is there is going to come a time where football players are one thing and football watchers are another thing, and they don't cross over. Football is going to be so dangerous and difficult and crazy to participate in that there's not going to be, the fandom isn't going to be a lot of guys who played high school football reliving their glory by watching the NFL, everything. He thinks, and I kind of agree, football participation is going to dwindle, and how is that going to hurt people watching the NFL?
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah.
That's a good theory, right? We always talk about it with sports fandom, right? You're a fan based on your childhood, based on your youth, your adolescence, and those memories, right? Whether it's a young Mets 86 or a 90 Reds, it's you base things on that. I think there's definitely good points there. Look, I think there's already a difference, and I know you'd agree. There's already a difference in when we grew up versus now. When you grew up, it was like, yeah, you're going to play football. Now it's like there's a lot of parents like, my kid's not playing.
Yeah, and that's my point. Is you go back 10 years that had already started, because like, man, these brain injuries. CTE was all the talk of the town. Can you imagine being a young parent now and being like, I could put my kid in football and maybe he doesn't get a brain injury, but he probably tears his Achilles at some point.
Exactly.
Which is, if you look at baseball now, you're essentially signing up if you play high level baseball and you're a pitcher. Like, you're signing up to have a Tommy John surgery. You're having Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
So we're now at a point where it's like, yeah, Tommy John surgery, but he's 21, so that's in the past. But also Tommy John surgery is just like the doctor does it on his lunch break.
Does Tommy John, does he get any royalties on that?
I don't know. And I don't know how he pivoted into underwear. So I don't know if that's the same guy. It seems like that should be trademarked, but then also it's not. But also, why would you name your underwear company after a famous arm surgery?
He does not. His the name was trademarked by the surgeon, Dr. Frank Job or Joby. He's the one who trademarked it. Oh, man. It sucks, bro. Maybe you got some royalties of that underwear.
Yeah. Your elbow's going to be hanging, but your wang is going to look great. In our new Tommy John front pocket briefs.
Oh, man. Yeah, look, when Robert Kraft's going up there, it's like you see, again, with politicians, like, he's not even hiding it, man. He's just like, we need more money. I want every team playing not only 18 games internationally, when the players are on record saying they want neither.
And if you need proof this is a terrible idea, look at Robert Kraft when they were still playing a 16-game season. He's 3 years into playing the 17-game season, and all of a sudden he's RFK Jr.
Yeah. That's my thing with these guys. When is enough? That's what I always say. Like you have your legacy, man. You bought a dumpster fire.
Legacy, yo.
It is about legacy, yo. You bought your dumpster fire franchise. You've won 6 titles. You've turned into a model franchise. I just don't like. I don't know. They just can't stop, man. And here they are now again, just knocking on the door. I'm going to bring up a DM I got regarding the Patriots, actually, from A Millie. I said, you should have called. He's like, oh, I don't want to call too much. I was like, no. By the way, that's the same for Dirtball. There's never too many calls.
Yeah.
So no, this was his question. He said, how do you feel about people calling the Patriots season a Mickey Mouse run because of their schedule and now playing Stidham in the AFC Championship game? He said, correct me if I'm wrong, you still have to win the games. So that's the debate, and that's a good question. It's like, we were saying, oh, if they make it to the Super Bowl, if they win in Denver, it's kind of a bullshit way because they didn't play anybody tough. And
Listen,
then they get.
Here's the most important takeaway from this Patriots season. The Patriots are not the Bengals. The Patriots are not the Browns. The Patriots are not the Jets. We just talked about Championship Sunday and how I loved watch teams making the Super Bowl. For the Patriots, making the Super Bowl they are not going to hang a banner.
Nope.
And in the end, they could have a Mickey Mouse run the whole fucking year. They're still going to have to play the NFC team that made the Super Bowl. So when all is said and done, they have the Rams, or the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Now, anything can happen any given Sunday. We've seen it in many Super Bowls. We've seen it happen to the Patriots. We've seen it happen to a Patriots team no one ever thought was going to lose. But if the Patriots, if we have an old school 90s Super Bowl and the Patriots make it and the Rams or the Seahawks beat them 35-6, well, then they'll be remembered like the Chargers team or the Dirty Bird Falcons or the whatever. Like, you'll be like, cool. A lot of things broke your way. You came out of a whatever, and, you know, you got boat raced in the Super Bowl. That being said, conversely, if the Patriots have their Mickey Mouse season and get Jared Stidham in the AFC Championship game and then go on to beat the Rams or the Seahawks, you won the fucking Super Bowl.
Like, yeah, and I don't believe it. You know, this whole Mickey Mouse season, it's like, to be honest, I've never heard it before. I think as far as like, to me, it's stupid. Well, just let's look at a recent team that was bad. Did anybody say that when the Bengals team was in the Super Bowl and nobody suspected that when they had a last place schedule? Do you know what I'm saying? They won what, 5 games the year before? Patriots won 4 the year before. You know what I'm saying? Like, did anybody say that? And obviously they won, but did anybody say that when the Rams, who were supposed to be nobody with Warner, they sucked the year before?
I'll say this about the Patriots. If Bo Nix were playing, I'd be taking the Broncos. After what I saw in the Texans game at home, I'd be taking the Broncos. I'll say this. If it's Sam Darnold versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I'm taking Sam Darnold.
I'm not.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, I don't think the Patriots win the Super Bowl. I love Mike Vrabel. I love Drake May. I think that there's some truth to the Patriots haven't really been tested that much this year, and they might be a little bit paper tigery even if you go to the Super Bowl. That being said, if you win the Super Bowl, all that shit is off. All that shit is irrelevant. There's no such thing as fraudulent Super Bowl winners. There's not a fraudulent Super Bowl team we've ever had. There's fraudulent Super Bowl quarterbacks, and there's fraudulent Super Bowl receivers. There's fraudulent Super Bowl coaches. But there's no fraudulent Super Bowl winning teams.
I agree. And look, I don't even today, like right now before this game, I don't call it a Mickey Mouse run. Look, you can only play, you can play, man. Again, they had a last place schedule. They finished in last place last year. Especially in the NFL, guys, any given Sunday. Like, it's not easy to win. They won 14 games. I don't know. Like, I don't know what people want. It's not easy to win 14 games, even when you're going against bad teams. You're not going to have a perfect game. I think they're. I have faith. I would have faith in them against the Sam Darnold Seattle team solely because I trust Vrabel in a defense. To me, the wild card is like Drake May in that spotlight. Second-year quarterback. That's a lot of pressure. But same thing for Darnold. Like, that pressure is going to be on him.
Right. The reason I would take the Seahawks is from what I saw in the Texans game. If this Seahawks team gets through a McVay Stafford offense, then I think they're doing to a Drake May offense what the Texans did, and I don't think they score 12 points or whatever. What I'm saying is I don't think the Darnold offense scores 12. Like, I think that's where I'm going.
I gotcha.
So it's it'll be interesting because
I still give the Broncos a chance, by the way. I know the whole Stidham situation it's tough to evaluate a guy who hasn't played much the last few years. I just, because you never know. Drake May has turned the ball over a lot this playoffs, and you never know. And it's still a real game. I know the Broncos are 5.5-point dogs at home, which is pretty wild. But again, like you never know how a game can swing. Look at that Niners Seahawks game. You have an opening touchdown kickoff. Right away, it's like, what if the Broncos do that? They take one to the house. What if they have a pick six early on? You never know.
Yeah.
Now, am I picking the Broncos to win? No. But my point is, like, this isn't like a done deal. No way. That's kind of an interesting storyline. I mean, the thought of Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl, oh, that's not a good one. Nobody wants to see that. No one wants to see Jarrett Stidham quarterback in the Broncos in a Super Bowl.
I wonder how many times that phrase has been said this week. Poor Jarrett Stidham, and honestly, his whole family. Like, bro, the search engine optimization, the first 14 billion search results are just people saying, "No, I want to see Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl." Fuck.
Yeah, no disrespect, man, to you and your family.
Hey, like 25 years from now, he's selling cars, and they're like, he's like, "Hi, I'm Jarrett Stidham," and they're like, Jarrett Stidham. Where do I know that name? Oh, no one wants to see Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you.
I didn't realize he's been in the league 6 years. I obviously know he played for the Patriots.
Yeah.
So I guess there would be a storyline, or there is a storyline, I mean, right now, but revenge game.
You know what I'm trying to make a thing? Jarrett Stidham, hardly know him. We always do it with the hers.
There you go. Well, Stidham, we do pizza ratings here. I don't know what your pizza rating is. TBD after this week.
I mean, right now, Jarrett Stidham, I mean, it's like, to me, right now, we can reassess next week. But right now, Jarrett Stidham is Domino's latest thing. You're like a brownie crust pizza. I don't know. Sounds disgusting, but I'll try it. I think it's going to be really, really, really bad. And then you get it, and you're like, not the worst thing I've ever had.
I sent this one to you. I don't know what Dirtball posted this because it was on Reddit. It made me laugh pretty hard. It was it says CJ Stroud has a medium cauliflower crust. They sent a picture of it called cauliflower, stone fried cauliflower crust cheese of the day. Oh my God. Made me laugh hard. I love that we do the pizza ratings. Well, we might as well just preview these games real quick. We got stuff to talk through, but
let's go.
We're here. It sounds like we're both going to obviously take the Patriots. But again, anything can happen, man.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to see a blowout. I really don't. I hope it's a close game.
Do you think it's going to be a close game? You're taking the Patriots to cover the 5.5?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I am.
So you think, is it is it a touchdown win? Is it a blowout?
I think it's a 10-point win or a touchdown win. I don't think it's a blowout. I don't think it's a proper blowout. I think we'll be watching that game late, and we'll be saying, this is, if they score here, I guess it's kind of, it's one of those.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be, my other prediction, I think it'll be interesting for a while. We'll be like, that was a good game until the second quarter when this happened, until late in the second quarter when this happened, and they scored right before the half, and really came back from that. But listen, would it be more fun if it was Drake May versus his old classmate Mike Vrabel for a chance to go to the Super Bowl? or sorry, Bo Nix versus old classmate Mike Vrabel for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Sure. And that would have been an exciting football game. But there's always drama in the NFL, and this is the drama we get. And I think it'll be a fun watch, one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. We're both Vrabel guys. If he can make it to the Super Bowl his first year, what a feat. And again, I know I harp on it nonstop. I just can't. I can't not. You're idiots, Titans. You're just idiots. And Alex from Kentucky, literally, he disappeared.
Well, listen, maybe he offed himself.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know who is there. I don't think they've hired a coach. I don't know what the situation is.
Did they? Oh no, the Dolphins hired their coach.
No, I don't think they hired a coach.
Salah has done an interview or two, though.
I don't know. A lot of bad decisions down there. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're getting a dome. Why? It's Nashville, Tennessee. You don't need a dome. Oh, they hired Salah?
Did they?
Here in the YouTube comments, they did. Did that happen today? Did I just? Have I missed this? Where have I been? Did I miss this? When was this announced?
I had a busy day yesterday. And
so did I, but
it's 8 a.m. here, so I don't know.
I stayed up late last night. Jesus, this was 2 days ago?
That's
Hold
on. This is everything you need to know about the Titans. I know that the fucking Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley or whatever.
Yeah. I knew that the Chargers named McDaniel,
offense coordinator.
OC.
I know fucking Dable's interviewing in Buffalo.
Yeah, I knew all that too.
Somehow the Titans hiring Salah 2 days ago, like we missed it.
Well, I'm seeing the post from the NFL is 12:04 a.m. on January 20th. So that was what? Turning into Tuesday, Monday night, turning into Tuesday when they posted this.
Okay.
Regardless,
Robert Saleh.
You're not a good hire, to be honest.
I don't hate it.
I don't know. By the way, I like Robert Saleh. Here's my thing. We've said it. I think he's a great DC.
But
Is it a Jets mulligan? Okay, that's fair.
You got to. If you're,
that's fair. I guess it's fair. I mean, I'm telling you, Titans, like you guys are, I don't know, you guys are making a lot of bad decisions. Again, you're getting a dome in Nashville, Tennessee. Come on, what are we doing?
Well, they won a Super Bowl, and then you get this.
We already went over that. It doesn't do shit.
I know it doesn't do shit, but that's not. Listen, none of this is about. They don't. The city of Nashville isn't pushing for a dome because they want a Super Bowl. The city of Nashville is pushing on their population that you should want a dome so you can get the Super Bowl. But really, the politicians are lining their own pockets with the backdoor deals they're doing with some scumbag construction guy to funnel government funds into the pockets of themselves and other fucking cronies. All of that shit is a scam. And I've said it a million times on this show, and I'll say it again. Believe politics out of sports. The Nashville dome is politics. It's the only fucking reason it's happening. And that's why it'll happen. And yeah, the idea that they're going to make 1 cent more because the Super Bowl is going to come here is ludicrous. Because it's already a fucking tourist town.
I was going to say, and the population's already booming. The economy, not like Nashville has turned into such a thing.
But also, Nashville, Tennessee, with a dome, you can do dead podcaster funerals year round.
Shots fired.
Literally.
You could also do a lot. I guess you could do a lot of country stuff.
Yeah.
The big country stars coming into town, or I don't know where they hold the CMAs, the Country Music Awards, and whatever. You could do it.
This next song for the Dome here in Nashville, Tennessee, a 70,000 person dome. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town.
They could do like crossover. They could do like crossover in the Dome. They would do like a Trump rally crossover.
Were you about to say with the country concert? I was
Yeah.
I have news for you. I don't know how to break this to you, Andy.
Those happen? Those happen?
Jason Aldean concerts are basically just
I know.
nice benefit shows.
I know, I'm joking.
We'd like to welcome all you folks from the military and all you police enforcement, law enforcement people here. And also, we'd like to welcome all of your wives. And I want to say that you all did a great job on your makeup tonight, covering up your black eyes. You guys look fantastic. Try that in a small town.
Who sings the small town song?
Jason Aldean.
I'm so out of the country stuff. I know the
Dude, that guy would get dragged behind a truck if you wore his bedazzled jeans in a small town.
You know what I was listening to the other day, speaking of country? I don't even know why it came up. I was like, I just put it on my Spotify. I was like, old school. And I'm not a country, but I was like, and I don't even know if you call this country. And I was like, what would people call us? I was like, these old school Garth Brooks songs. I like these. I don't care.
Garth Brooks is, well,
is he country? Or is he pop? Like
no, he was at one point the country fucking king of the world.
I know he was, but then that's what I was listening to, like that genre.
I got friends in low places.
Thunder Rolls, and just I was just going through. I don't know why. I was like, I'm gonna listen to some Garth Brooks today. But I don't know. That popped in my head because I'm so out of the loop again on country music. I was like, this was country then, but is it too poppy? I don't know. I don't think it is. And then I was laughing thinking of that character he did.
Chris Gaines. Legendary. What about when he went to spring training with the Mets?
He went to spring training with the Mets? As Chris Gaines?
No, as Garth Brooks.
Oh.
It was weird. They made him a cowboy hat batting helmet.
No, they did not.
No, they didn't. They fucking should have.
I wouldn't put anything past them.
It looked like Turd Ferguson.
I wouldn't put anything past the Mets.
Yeah.
I saw you guys.
What's weird about the Mets is they're really building a lineup. Unfortunately, Garth Brooks is their DH instead of signing Pete Alonso to this offseason. They're putting together quite the lineup, and Garth Brooks will be DHing.
We got the Brewers closer, right?
Well, we got a Brewers start. We got the Brewers closer to start the offseason from 2 years ago. We have Devin Williams, but they just got Freddie Peralta.
That was it. Jesus,
yeah.
This is my baseball knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
I was reading some things on
I've been saying on Twitter all week. And here's the thing. This is what you need to know. It's Mets Twitter is sports Twitter on steroids. There are no layered takes on Mets Twitter. There's only LOL Mets and put Uncle Stevie's cock in your throat. That's the only two sides of Mets Twitter. The only two sides of Mets Twitter is Uncle Stevie delivers again, cucks for billionaires, and there's like LOL Mets. They signed fucking prime Barry Bonds, but he'll still suck because they're the Mets. Whereas I'm just here going, this would be a pretty good offseason if you just signed Pete Alonso. Every other move the Mets made and Pete Alonso DHing instead of Brett Beatty, and this team might actually whatever. Or, a layered Mets take that Mets fans don't want to hear these days, that at least the Steve Cohen ball lickers don't want to hear is pretty good offseason for the Mets. Also, the Dodgers widen the gap.
Yeah. Well, I was reading about the on the Athletic as far as where it's headed, and that basically all the owners are going to push. They said the latest Dodgers signing is not that they needed that, but is really going to push all the owners to stand firm on a salary cap. And it's like, okay, well, obviously you need the floor, but I think there could be potential. Everything you read is like there could be potential
work stoppage and
yeah.
salary cap. Good, there should be. Now,
because the players aren't going to go for it.
Again, this is the frustration as a modern day 46-year-old Mets fan who hasn't seen a World Series since he was fucking 6. For the good of baseball, a sport I love, and that one I plan on watching on my, in a rocking chair on my front porch with a Miller Lite in my hand when I'm 80, if I live that long, we need a salary cap. Cut back to modern day Joe Prano, who's like, I'm mad at the Mets because the salary cap is coming and you're not acting like it.
Yeah. Well, they gotta straighten that out. Obviously, everybody says that. Like, figure it out, guys. So let's pivot back here for a second because we both kind of agreed how we think the AFC Championship game will play out. NFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously think it'll be a close game.
Agreed.
2.5 point Seattle Seahawks favorites. I think the Rams win the rubber match. I think, they completely choked away. I mean, that's the best way to put it. They did. They choked away the last game in Seattle. They were up 2 touchdowns, halfway through the fourth quarter. And I don't trust Darnold enough. And I do trust Matt Stafford. And I trust McVay to right the ship from last week's play calling. I think the Rams win a close one.
I'll say this. I am 10 days removed from kind of essentially knowing that this was going to be we both picked Seattle last week in a close one. We were wrong about that, obviously, but we both essentially picked this as the NFC Championship game. So you go back a week plus now. I knew we were going to be here, but my attitude 10 days ago would have been like, Rams win a 10-point game. I don't trust Darnold. I don't trust this thing. I haven't been high on Seattle. I've thought the Seattle love the whole year was a tad overblown, and I was like, Sam Darnold in the playoffs. Okay, we'll see. You have to give credit where credit's due. If we're gonna say the Patriots had a Mickey Mouse schedule or whatever, we've also got to say the San Francisco 49ers went into Philadelphia, beat the defending champs, and Seattle beat the fucking shit out of them. So I have a lot more confidence in Seattle now than I did the entire year, including last week. I think Seattle having home field advantage makes it a great game. I think Seattle having a defense makes it a great game. When all is said and done, I do think the Rams win the game. But I truly think this is a coin toss game that could go either way. They obviously split the season series. They've played each other a lot. It's a division rivalry. It's in Seattle. It's a coin flip game, but I think the Rams win a close one. Same as you.
And we'll obviously both be rooting for the Rams. And I think, I think that's how it plays out.
And listen, I think that this is going to be an interesting game because Seattle's defense is great.
They're really good.
And Puka got taken out of that Bears game a little bit from the weather. And if they can find a way to take him out of that game a little bit, because Stafford's great, and Stafford for sure spreads the ball around, and Devontae Adams is, still a fine to great player, but they can for sure come with, Seattle's defense and Seattle's coaching has been spectacular. And if they come with a game plan, I'll say this. I think the Rams win a close game. But if you told me one of these teams won by 2 touchdowns, I'd say it was Seattle. I don't see the Rams running away with this game in Seattle against that defense. That's my take.
Yeah.
But I think that the Rams do win this game.
Look, Seattle's D is legit, man. Like, they're legit. We saw what they did last week. But coach, quarterback, defense, I'll give, obviously, Seattle the defense. Coach, we're going to give to the Rams. Quarterback, we're going to give to the Rams.
Yeah. And you could say unfair not to consider, not to be like, hey, can we talk about the coaching thing? And it's like, we could, but you're going to have a hard time convincing me until the resume is longer.
Yeah. I agree.
But I'll tell you what, don't get fucking cute this weekend, Sean McVay.
No, don't. I don't think you will. Somebody made a mashup. It's pretty crazy. I saw on Twitter. It's like, if you really blend them, they the Sean McVay, Cash Patel. My buddy sent it to me. I was like, whoa. Like the same hairstyle. Sean McVay's a much better looking guy. But like, it's kind of wild. Where they were like,
I love that there's a lot of people in the NFL we have photo negatives of, like Troy Aikman and Jay-Z.
That's a great one. The Troy Aikman Jay-Z. That's great. So the MVP finalists were announced today.
Oh,
yeah. Matt Stafford, of course. Drake May, of course. The other 3 are interesting. Those are the 2 front runners. Excuse me. Hold on. So Stafford, May, and then you have Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and Christian McCaffrey.
wow. I was going to say Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence, and I didn't think McCaffrey would be in there.
He had a great year.
But he did a great year, and I think he deserves to be there, and has probably deserved to be there more years than he has been there. And my vote's going to Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I would vote for Stafford too. Here's a tough one. Coach of the year. I mean, I've never seen it more competitive. Liam Cohen from the Jags, Ben Johnson from the Bears, Mike McDonald from the Seahawks, Shanahan from the Niners, and Vrabel from the Patriots.
It's a regular season award, right?
It is.
Okay. So if I'm voting on this, and
you're voting, you have a vote.
I'm voting, and I'm playing by the rules of the game, right? The same way I would do it, when we talk about most valuable player, I'm taking that term to mean what it is. If I'm playing by the rules of the game, I'm giving it to Liam Cohen.
I'm not going to argue. I mean, nobody expected the Jags to win the division, and where they go 12-5, 13-4. It's tough not to. You look at other guys. I mean, I don't know. I think the best arguments, truthfully, are Liam Cohen and Ben Johnson. I see the Vrabel argument.
We're both Vrabel guys, but it's also like the reason he took that job is because he knew they were on the cusp to go there, and they had yeah.
And there's a lot of questions about Trevor Lawrence entering the season, and he has his best year ever, right? turn that team around.
And Ben Johnson turned the Bears around, but I agree with you.
It's those two.
I agree with you. I think that you can make a good argument for that. But again, I almost feel like if you're making the argument for Ben Johnson, you're probably doing it while considering the playoffs. Like that feels like that's why I said
well, they had the number 2 seed.
Yeah. No, I know.
The Bears.
Yeah, I know. But I'm also just saying, like, they were 11-6, and the Jaguars were 13-4, and the Jaguars are the Jaguars.
Okay, the Bears have been the Bears for 15 years.
Yeah,
I think
like we've seen. Obviously he took Caleb Williams to the next level, but it feels very Drake May, Vrabel with Drake May. It's like you kind of knew what you had going in.
That's fair. Well, our MVP is Miller Lite. Has been and always will be.
And our coach of the year.
Yeah.
And honestly, my sixth man.
It's
a gold glove. That's
doing sports crossovers now. Okay. Yeah. Has been and always will be. Miller Lite.
This is my gold glove. This is my silver slugger.
There you go. Oh, yeah. I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, I'll tell you what. If you're in the part of the region that I'm at, I don't know if you've seen this. Major snow ice storm hitting this weekend. Great weekend to stay home, watch football while you drink your Miller Lights.
Are you saying it's going to be damp in the Midwest this weekend?
Amongst many things, yes.
Well, that's great because Miller Lights wants you to celebrate damp January. Enough of this dry January. How about damp January?
I saw this.
Yeah. I love it. It's the best thing ever. Honestly, the counter programming to dry January with some damp January. I went down to the Irvine Improv last night. It's one of my favorite parts of going to the Irvine Improv. I got into the green room, and the waitress came in, and she dropped off a menu, and she said, "I'll give you a minute. I'll come back for your order." I go, "You don't have to give me a minute. I'm going full Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street. You're going to bring me a Miller Lite. Then you're going to bring me a Miller Lite for every 6 minutes until I hit stage. And then you're going to bring me a Miller Lite 3 minutes before I get off stage. And then every 6 minutes until I leave this place." And she's like, "Okay, I got it." And I was like, "Great." Because I'm celebrating damp January. There's a little bit of me that's celebrating swamped January because I'm more than damp,
Well, again, guys, great weekend to stay inside, make some memories, make some legendary moments with your buddies, with your fam, with the games. Crack open some Miller Lite. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Yeah,
I was with a Milwaukee guy last night and Nate Craig. I got my baseball team acquired a Milwaukee guy and Freddie Peralta. And I was just like, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta believe signs, the signs are everywhere. You just got to see them. And I was like, a lot of Milwaukee in my life right now. And then like Thor retrieving his hammer, I just stuck out my hand and shoom. There it was. Miller Lite. God, I'm so excited for it. I said it to start the show. It's the first take I had on the show. Championship football Sunday greater than Super Bowl. Championship Sunday with Miller Lite greater than everything. Greater than. When they do the greater than, and then nothing because it's just everything? That's where we're at. Miller Lite Championship Sunday. Let's go.
Well, let's talk a little more NFL stuff here.
Going cans for the. I feel like cans for the AFC game, bottles for the NFC game.
Let's get through a few more things.
Save the golds for the big game.
I like the Mike McDaniel Chargers OC hire. Because again, I've said this, I don't think he's a head coach in the league. Hey, keep being a great play caller. Right? You don't got to worry about everything else.
What's crazy is LA, such a transplant town. I mean, this guy's gonna have a new bar to drive by every week.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
He's gonna have to go down to ye old King's Head for Eagles games, and he's gonna have to go to all these different all the bars. He's gonna have to bounce around town. He's gonna put a lot of miles on a car.
Yeah, the dynamic of him and Harbaugh is kind of funny, but I think it has good potential, right?
He's gonna fit in fantastic in LA.
Oh yeah, in LA.
Mike McDaniel, and the guy at the waterfront that started a CBD company are gonna get along like hotcakes.
Oh yeah. 100%.
What do you do? I started a CBD company. What do you do? It's like, I'm the OC for the Chargers. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you get laid in high school? No, me either. Sick, dude. You want to drive my convertible past Big Dean's? Troll some Steelers fans?
Yeah, and I'll be curious what he can do with Herbert,
Yeah.
We can do with that offense. Now, you sent me something before the show. I mean, I can't believe that, and I knew that they were doing it, but like the Steelers are looking at possibly Mike McCarthy as one of their options.
Mike McCarthy's been trying to do do you remember the Mike McCarthy post Packers off-season film? They're like, Mike McCarthy has a barn outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where he and a lot of other guys who weirdly don't have jobs in the NFL sit around and break down tape.
The Steelers, their last two hires at the time were like, oh, these are young, up-and-coming people nobody knows in Cowher and Tomlin, and they worked out. So I'm thinking in my head, it's worked before. Do you want to try that formula? Or do you want to go with the 65-year-old or whatever he is, 60-year-old dude who has one title in all those years with Aaron Rodgers? Doesn't seem like the smartest bet to me.
Also, is the idea that Aaron Rodgers is coming back because he needs some more Mike McCarthy in his life? Is this if the Steelers' plan is here, we need to hire Mike McCarthy so we have a good head coach going forward, but also let's get one more year out of 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who looks
terrible
like
idea,
fucking dog shit.
Yeah, terrible
in the playoffs. Idea. This is so bad. Honestly, have they thought about? I'm just throwing it out there. Have they thought about hologram Chuck Noll and you get Bradshaw to come out of retirement?
I wish Bradshaw retired from TV. I wish Terry would really retire.
I mean, Terry Bradshaw, it was like a scene at a Deep Blue Sea when Terry Bradshaw found out they might hire Mike McCarthy to coach his Pittsburgh Steelers. The guys in the Fox studio had to crack an emergency door to get out because the whole thing was flooded with his semen. You want to talk about damp January?
Again, still the worst take of all time. Terry
The worst
Bradshaw.
take of all time.
The worst take of all time, saying he would choose Mike McCarthy over Aaron Rodgers during Aaron Rodgers' prime. Worst take of all time. No other take is worse. In fact, like I've said on this show, Terry Bradshaw has like 50 years of bad takes. So
he also came out the other day and did say that the Bills should have thought about keeping Sean McDermott and moving on from Josh Allen. Did you hear that?
No, you're joking.
I'm joking, but it's the exact same amount of ridiculousness.
Have you seen what's going on in Buffalo?
No.
Did you see this press conference?
Oh yeah, I saw him. Essentially, they're doing a throwing of Sean McDermott under the bus campaign.
Bro,
because they want to keep their GM or something, or they are keeping their GM, or
so. Brandon Beane has been elevated to the GM. I think he was president of player operations. I don't know what his technical title was, but I've never seen anything like this. Where they throw a guy under the bus who's currently on the team. I gotta play this clip. Like what is happening in Buffalo? Keon Coleman, this is the owner. Is it Terry
Pagula?
Pagula hops in the middle of this press conference. Again, I've never seen anything like this. And I lived in Cincinnati with Mike Brown. This is wild.
Yeah, I mean, can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation.
These old owners, they're unbelievable.
I love it. I love it. By the way, does he have a suit on under his Bills polo shirt?
I don't know what that is.
And then there's a guy who's there's the lowest rung of TV employee, the guy who's got to set up a steady cam on a tripod at the back of a press conference and just hit play and not touch anything. All of a sudden he's got to fucking turn the camera, the slow fucking turn pan to the owner who's sitting there. Is like, I'd like to hop in. Would you? Why are you up here?
The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice.
What are you saying, old man winner?
It was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it, but I'm here to tell you the true story.
Okay, so Keon Coleman's just sitting at home.
Thanks for fucking giving us the truth there.
He's just sitting at home being like, yo, I still work for you, motherfucker.
He's doing the 50 Cent. Me? What the fuck did I do?
That's what I saw. I saw a lot of those. Like that was the reaction of just like, yo, I know I haven't been as productive.
Me?
Yeah, I know I haven't been as productive, but like, yo, I'm just boss man over here is like, and then of course, here's what amazes me. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this on podcast, in person. I've been screaming it top of my lungs for years now. It amazes me that people don't know the internet exists. It just amazes me that they don't think it exists. They don't think you can. Again, I particularly do it with politicians. Like, yo, dude, you said this. You completely a different approach a few months ago, or even like years ago. You said the exact opposite. The exact opposite. Here's a prime example. Did they forget this entire piece existed?
Basically, when I went to bed that night, I was like,
oh, God damn it. Why does it do that? Okay, hold on. Here it is. Watch this. This is, I don't even know what this is from, but somebody's like, yo, owner, homeboy, everything you said is a complete lie because we have this.
basically, when I went to bed that night, I was like, it's Keon unless someone just blows us away. We didn't feel anything was attractive enough for us to pass up on Keon.
All things considered, Rich, get the guy who's feels the best fit. Yep.
I know this might be obvious, but so tomorrow, who are we picking?
We're just going to keep trading more. We're going to get 14 fifths. Barring someone offering us something stupid, we'll take Keon Coleman there.
Cool. So everything you just said, owner, seems like a complete lie based on this. Now, unless Sean McDermott had Bean at gunpoint, we don't know. Maybe there's a gun underneath that he's pointing at his cock, saying, you drafting Keon Coleman. You say this on camera. What are we doing here? I mean, look, not a good situation. You don't have a head coach. You're doing this like stuff. We all know this. A team structure, a team, the continuity of the team, so to speak, that can go south real quick. They better figure it out. I have to ask this. is there a part of Harbaugh who's like, I don't think there is, because he's got Jackson Dart and he's got a young team and he's got obviously the allure from New York, all that. Is there a part of him that's like, oh, that would have been a nice job?
I don't know. I mean, here's what I think. I think that he, like we, were well aware that this could happen. So I don't think John Harbaugh took his job at the Giants without considering that the Buffalo deal could be there. I think that as attractive as the Giants are with a bunch of young pieces, Buffalo is obviously a more turnkey fit. But from John Harbaugh's standpoint, for a guy who's coached for a long time, do you really want to put yourself in a situation where you've got 2 years to win the Super Bowl or you're looking for a job again versus 5 years, 100 million? The story of the holdup was you don't even have to answer to the GM. So there's never like, you're certainly not having some Keon Coleman conversation 5 years from now where they're like, well, Joe Shane wanted him, but I'm the blah, blah, blah. Like, the Giants essentially, I think on paper from a team standpoint and a deal standpoint, gave him everything he could have asked for. So I don't think that he's sitting there thinking, man, I could have gone to Buffalo right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, like I said, I don't know who that guy is now. Like, I don't know who that coach is. The Bills thing is kind of fascinating because I think I sent you this. I mean, they're them blowing these games, or not even making the Super Bowl, is wild. There was this stat over the last 6 years. I mean, I didn't realize this. I think I sent this to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dirtball Alex who sent it to me. Over the last 6 years, the Bills have scored the most points, have allowed the fewest points, have the best record overall regular season, and have the best point differential. Like, if you put that in context, that is insane. They've scored the most points, given up the least amount, won the most games, and they've never made a Super Bowl? I mean, clearly the coach has to go from those I mean, but like,
well, listen, here's the situation that you're in, which is that's a pretty good argument for the coach should stay.
okay, fair. The other side, okay.
But we just had Byron Scott on the More Stories podcast, and we got into it, and it was the most interesting part of the podcast for me was his time in New Jersey, where he took the Nets to, the finals, multiple finals, and was eventually replaced. And if for old school NBA fans, Lawrence Frank taking the job mid-season from a coach who had just gone to back-to-back NBA finals is the original what the hell is going on. But he broke it down for us very clearly. Rod Thorne said, well, this ain't working, and I can't trade him, so I got to fire you. And it's just that simple. The argument here for Sean McDermott, when you break out those stats, is strong. But they haven't made a Super Bowl. So if you're the top of that organization, you go, something ain't working, and I can't trade him.
Yeah.
I got to fire you.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
A little bit That's why Harbaugh's available, right?
Yeah.
That's why Harbaugh's a Giant. Well, I can't trade him, so I got to fire you.
Well, that's why I find it all so interesting, right? These storylines heading into next year. The Bills have a new coach. The Steelers are going to have a new coach. The Ravens are going to have a new coach. I'm talking AFC right now. It's just, I mean, you're going to have a lot of new coaches, but it's like 3 teams where traditionally they're considered good franchises now. The Steelers don't have that franchise QB, but the other 2 do. It's just like, I don't know, man.
Let me ask you another thing. Was this a fever dream that I had when I was missing the Robert Saleh news, or is Eric Bieniemy maybe going to be the OC of the Chiefs?
He is.
Was he hired?
I thought of you when I saw that. I think, is that official?
Kind of a no-brainer. Kind of insane that it took this long with him being out of football the last.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Good.
Well, I think he was doing other things. He was in college ranks. The offense was much better with him. And you talked about it recently. So he went to the Commanders, then he was the UCLA's OC, then he was just the Bears running backs coach last year.
Yeah.
In Bieniemy's previous 5 years with the Chiefs, they finished no lower than 6th in points per game. Andy Reid will continue to call plays, but obviously that definitely seems like a collaborative effort there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Again, I think that conference, I just find it so interesting now and moving forward. We talked about it with like the young guys and the emergence of all these new coaches and where it heads and where it goes. I don't know.
I don't think that killed him.
But I look forward to the Super Bowl on Mars for Robert Kraft. I look forward to that in 5 years.
Here we are, week 75. It's crazy. Next year's Super Bowl will fall on Valentine's Day.
Is it back in LA next year?
I don't know. Is it? Might be.
I didn't know that.
Because we're now however many years into, what is this? The year 3 of the 18-game season? The 18-week season, the 17-game season?
Yeah, it is back at SoFi.
So because we're in because we added a week, it used to be the first Sunday. Now it's the second Sunday.
Well, they want to add they want to get it on. What's that?
They want to add another game.
Well, they want to get it on
President's Weekend.
Yeah, that's their goal.
Yeah. Well, if Robert Kraft has his way, they're really he is going to make the Super Bowl America's greatest day. He's going to push for so many games that it then falls on 4th of July. Boom. Mind blown.
Yeah. Idiots. Just like, take your money, dude. Be happy.
The NFL, though, they don't care. NFL's like, listen, I'm going to throw it out there. If we push it 2 more weeks, we could just call it March Madness. They're like, fuck those motherfuckers. We took Sunday from church. We can certainly take March from fucking fake minor league professional basketball.
Yeah. I know. Hotline. We do have one. Let's bring the old hotline up. 859-832-0478.
Give us a call. Also, go to joepraner.com/shows. Got a bunch of shows coming up in and around LA, Colorado, Tokyo, San Francisco Bay, Cincinnati, New York. Lots of stuff coming up. joepraner.com for shows. Follow me on all social at Joe Prano.
Yeah. Coming out of retirement, June 13th. Here we are, Dirtballs.
Let's go. Now, we didn't. Are we wrapping up the show here?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Cool. Great. This is good because I don't want to get into it, but I just want to, as sports guys, did you see the Lakers story? Did you read the long ESPN Lakers piece?
I saw the headline.
It's good. It's worth a read, and we can discuss on a future episode. And in between now and the future episode, maybe I can figure out, get some intel and also.
Well, that's what to be honest, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I perused the article last night, but I thought until I talked to Joe.
Yeah. No, and I would listen. I have. This is not me saying what I would say or I wouldn't say. I actually think I have only positive things to say from the article about about Jeannie Buss and that my only connection to the Lakers is Jeannie Buss, who has been nothing but an absolute gem of a person to me. So, and when you read the article, a lot of people feel some sort of way, and I'm like, sweetie pie and boss bitch. They should make a Netflix show about
her. The crux of the article was basically there were some issues with Jeannie Buss and LeBron and Rich Paul, correct? And then
that's a minor part of it.
But then within their family, the Buss family, correct?
Yeah. That's the LeBron thing, the Rich Paul thing. That's a minor part of it, and there's a lot of stuff that's like got no sources and no context and no quotes and no whatever. But the actual goings on of how the team got sold is very interesting, and a lot of people have thoughts on everything. And I'm like, I don't know. Seems like a pretty good goddamn deal if you ask me.
Yeah, business and family is always tough, by the way.
Totally.
Like, not that I have experience, but I'm just saying, like, I'm picturing myself, and that's a large family, working with my four brothers, let alone on arguably the most popular, if not one of the most popular NBA franchises ever. I don't know how that, that's a difficult situation. Let's talk about it next episode.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games. And as always, stay dirty.